So I'm getting caught up on my GenderQueer Atheist challenges. It's day 4 and I only answered 1. So in the ensuing 3 days, 3 questions have come up. My role model at the ripe old age of 5 was Mary Martin in Peter Pan. Never had I ever seen a woman behave that way. She had done a stage production of Peter Pan and it was televised. By the way, Peter Pan was written by a gay man. Reread it again and see what it's really saying. Here's Mary Martin hopping around and crouching down with her hoochie mama exposed and talking all butch, and that was just awesome to me.
I have a place where dreams are born and time is never planned. It's not on any chart, you must find it with your heart. Never, never land. It might be miles beyond the moon, or right there where you stand. Just keep an open mind and then suddenly you'll find never, never land. You'll have a treasure if you stay there, more precious far than gold. For once you have found your way there, you can never, never grow old. And that's my home where dreams are born and time is never planned. Just think of lovely things and your heart will fly on wings forever. In never, never land.
So I of course knew that that wasn't going to happen in my real life of vacation Bible school and middle-class white bread 1950s, 1960s suburb where everybody was assimilated. People were assimilated. There was a standard. And if you look at old women's magazines, housekeeping magazines from the 1950s and 60s, you'll see what my life was like. And one year, Mary Martin brought her show. My parents got tickets to that show. We were right down near the front. I mean, it's a theater in the round, but we were in seats closest to the stage. And there's the point at which Tinkerbell is poisoned and she's dying, and Peter Pan turns to the audience and says, "Do you believe? If you believe, you have to clap for fairies." I, of course, was mortally concerned. I knew this story, but I'm seeing it live, and Tinkerbell is dying, and so I'm furiously clapping away with a very concerned look on my face, and Mary Martin looks down at me and smiles and winks at me. As far as my growing up, I was forced into dresses with full skirts and real petticoats that make your skirts stick out horizontally. Expensive dresses, even at school. At one point, I came home and there was red paint on my dress, and Mom beat me. I spent a lot of money on these clothes, and you come home looking like that. I got beaten a lot for my physical appearance when I returned from school. I didn't even dare swing on the jumbo gyms or those things that you twirl around on, because if I came, my hair was pulled back in a ponytail, and she would pull it back so hard it hurt. And if I came home with my hair all messed up or whatever, I'd get a beating for that. Well, I came home with this red paint on my dress, and she just tore me apart. I spent so much money, blah, blah, blah. I said, "But Mom, I was painting a Valentine for you for Valentine's Day. It was a surprise." No remorse. So I was very much, I think my mother might have been closeted. She let a story leak about her adolescence and having a crush on a teacher, but it's a phase you get over, and there were some other things, like fondling me in the bathtub, and she wasn't a healthy person, in case you haven't figured this out. Well, I had this little playhouse in the backyard that they bought at some lumber store, and Dad had assembled. It was a little redwood playhouse, and a little door and windows. And a group of the neighbor girls and I were back there playing, and somebody suggested we play family. Well, it was the first time anybody had ever suggested that. I usually came up with the adventures. We had a lot more fun with the adventures I came up with. But I don't know, I guess I was having a slack day and didn't feel like being the organizer. So I said, oh, let's play family. Well, of course, to us, a family was a mom, a kid, and Dad. So even though I knew it was going to be boring as hell and I wouldn't have much interaction with the other kids, I agreed to play Dad. So we got up in the morning and had our breakfast and wished me goodbye. Now, I was only doing this to fill a role. It wasn't that I wanted to be a boy. It's just that we were playing family, so somebody had to do it, so I'll do the shitty job. And you can tell by my attitude about it, I wasn't looking forward to being the man, because mostly I'd be away from the house all day at work. And so I said goodbye to the family, and I went out the door, and I went to the garage, because I didn't know where else to go, on the other end of the yard. And inside were some bags of our older clothing that Mom was going to give to Goodwill. I started rummaging through the bag, and I found one of Dad's sports coats, and I put it on. And when I figured it was time to come home from work, I started trudging across the yard. Mom saw me through the kitchen window, and she came out and ordered me to come to her. She got me in the house, and she beat me within an inch of my life for wearing men's clothing. Now, when I eventually ran away at 17 and started living, I said I ran away from home and joined the lesbians. It was the 1970s, and the radical lesbian feminists, and the beginning of the gay rights movement and civil rights and anti-war, and all that was going on in Los Angeles. And I ran away from home, and I went down to Venice Beach, and I joined the lesbians. I already knew they were there because I was, well, that's another story. So anyway, I moved down there, and that's when I began working on my gender presentation. Of course, there were a lot of butches and a lot of really androgynous people, and a lot of people wearing overalls and Birkenstocks, or what were those boots called? Fry boots, and real androgynous and butchy kind of clothing. I used to take some flack whenever I'd wear something like, oh, I don't know, a Mexican peasant dress to a dance or a party or something. Used to get flack for, like one time I got my hair highlighted, and one of the women who is physically more pretty than I am, just naturally, who could pull off that look without looking real masculine, she mocked me for getting my hair done. It was my 21st birthday. It was a treat. It was a gay hairdresser. The place where, at the department store where my mother worked, volunteered to frost my hair for free for my birthday present. So I did it because, science experiment. So for me, it was never an option. I was never, if you ever read Rita Mae Brown's Rudy Fruit Jungle, I was never that girl. I was never the one who would get in fights with boys and do disgusting science experiments on insects and frogs in the pond. And I was never Scout. I always liked Scout from To Kill a Mockingbird. I always liked Scout. I never was Scout. So it wasn't until my early adulthood that I began to experiment. Now, today, how do I gender fuck? What I'm doing online, mostly. I had conversations with people about completely unrelated topics where particularly men assume that I'm male because I'm articulate and I'm assertive. I let them go ahead and think I'm male. And then if it becomes appropriate in the conversation, I will drop the fact that I am not male. I don't say that I'm female, I say that I'm not male. And all of a sudden the presumptions about feminism and about hysteria and about irrational and emotional come up. So I think my work with my YouTube channels and Facebook in particular, but other places as well, That's where I'm gender queering stuff. So there, I've answered all the questions. Have a good day. Don't fall in. See ya.